Have you ever met someone who believes their time, their comfort, their convenience, somehow matters more than yours? Someone who walks through life assuming the world revolves around them? Well, I did. Her name was Danielle, and she was the kind of neighbor who could turn any small kindness into an argument, and any misunderstanding into a war. At first, I tried to ignore her attitude. I told myself it wasn't worth the stress. But when she mocked the months I spent away serving in the reserves, when she told me her time was just as valuable as mine, that's when something inside me shifted. Because sometimes silence isn't peace. Sometimes silence is just the calm before karma speaks. Pause. The tone darkens slightly, a low hum builds. And karma? It came wrapped in 2 giant bags of cat food, with her name written all over it. If you've ever had a neighbor, coworker, or classmate who treated you like your time didn't matter, this one's for you. This isn't just a story about petty revenge. It's about standing your ground when someone tries to belittle you. So hit that like button if you've ever had to deal with entitled people, and get ready for one of the most quietly satisfying revenge stories you'll hear today. Because when Danielle decided to test my patience, she learned that respect isn't optional, it's earned. When my wife and I first moved into the newly renovated building, it felt like a fresh start. New floors, polished hallways, a shared yard out front, nothing fancy, but ours to make home. The building had history, though. The first 4 floors were the original, old, weathered, filled with long-time residents who'd lived there through the rough years. The upper 3 floors, where we lived, were brand new, modern apartments stacked on top of the old foundation. That mix of old and new created tension you could feel in the air. The older residents had fought hard for the renovation, but now that it was done, they didn't like change. The new tenants, on the other hand, were younger, working professionals who just wanted things to run smoothly. And then there was the front yard, the spark that lit every argument. The yard wasn't big, but it mattered. It was the first thing people saw, our shared space. Some of us wanted to keep it nice, trimmed green, alive. But the old residents refused to pay for a gardener, even though it was barely $10 a month each. "I'll take care of it," I'd said one day in the group chat. "I don't mind doing the work myself. Keeps me busy." A few of the neighbors thanked me. Others just stayed quiet. But one name kept showing up in every argument: Danielle. She lived 2 floors below. From what I gathered, she'd bought her apartment after the renovation. She loved to talk about how much she'd spent on it, like that gave her more authority than anyone else. She wasn't one of the old residents, she was new like me. But somehow, she'd appointed herself queen of the building chat. And she had opinions about everything. The paint color. The trash bins. The way kids played in the yard. And, of course, my gardening. It started subtly, small digs in the group messages. "The yard looks unprofessional. Maybe someone with actual experience should handle it. Why can't the old residents show more respect and contribute?" The hypocrisy was thick, because she hadn't lifted a single finger herself. But I stayed calm. I didn't argue back. Instead, I poured my energy into the yard, planted new grass, trimmed the bushes, even added flowers by the gate. And whenever Danielle's food deliveries got sent to my door by mistake, which happened a lot, I'd bring them down with a polite, "You got a delivery again." She'd barely mutter a thank you. Still, I tried to be the bigger person. Until the call came. I'm a reserve soldier. It's something I take seriously, not because I like leaving home, but because it matters. When I got called up for a long stretch, I didn't hesitate. My wife supported me fully. Before leaving, I even sent a quick message in the building chat. "Hey everyone, I'll be away for a while. The yard might not look perfect, but I'll handle it once I'm back." Most people sent thumbs ups, or kind wishes. Except Danielle. Her message came the next day. "The yard looks terrible. I thought you said you'd take care of it." I blinked at my phone, exhausted from training. I typed back. Sorry, Danielle. I'm serving right now. Haven't had time. Her reply came almost instantly. Well, my time is just as valuable as yours. I don't want to waste it discussing the yard. I stared at that line for a long time. My time is just as valuable as yours. Something about it stung deeper than I expected. Maybe it was because I'd just spent days away from home, doing something not for money or status, but out of duty. Maybe it was because I was tired of people like her, who saw every situation only through the lens of convenience. Either way, I knew right then that was the last message I'd ever send in that chat. That night I left the group. No drama. Just a short goodbye. Farewell and thanks for the fish. A small hitchhiker's guide joke, for anyone who got it. And then silence. Sun behind small cloud. Chapter 3. Back home, quiet resolve. When I finally came home weeks later, the first thing I noticed was the yard. It was a mess, overgrown, brown patches everywhere. But I didn't mind. I just rolled up my sleeves, put on gloves, and started again. Working with the earth has a rhythm, one that calms you, resets you. Every weed I pulled felt like letting go of irritation. Every new seed I planted felt like patience taking root. I wasn't doing it for anyone else anymore. Not the building, not the approval. I was doing it for me. Danielle was still around, of course. I'd see her sometimes, arms crossed, eyes darting toward the yard like she was collecting complaints to file later. But she didn't talk to me directly anymore. Not until the cat food arrived. It was a quiet Tuesday morning. I opened my door, and there they were. 2 massive bags of cat food. Not mine. The label was clear as day, Danielle. For a second, I considered just leaving them there until she came looking. But then I remembered her words. My time is just as valuable as yours. And I smiled. I took out a sheet of paper, grabbed a pen, and wrote. Dear Danielle. Sorry I didn't let you know about the delivery sooner. I would have, but I value my time just as much as you value yours. Good luck. I taped the note to one of the bags, set them neatly by her door, and walked away. No shouting. No confrontation. Just silence, and poetic justice. Balance Scale. Chapter 5. The Aftermath. Later that day, I saw the bags gone. No message, no thank you, no complaint. But that evening, someone quietly rejoined the building group chat. A new message popped up from Danielle. Yard looks great lately. No tag, no name, no drama. Just that. I smiled, muted the chat again, and closed my phone. Some people learn through arguments. Others learn through experience. And some, like Danielle, learn through irony. Thought balloon reflective wrap-up, 200 seconds. You know, people talk about petty revenge, like it's small, like it doesn't matter. But sometimes, it's not about getting even. It's about reminding people that kindness isn't weakness. That time, everyone's time, has value. Danielle will probably never admit she was wrong. But she knows now that respect goes both ways. And for me? That quiet satisfaction was worth every second. If this story made you smile, or made you think of that one person who's always acted like their time is the only one that counts, hit that like button. Tell me in the comments. What's the most satisfying quiet revenge you've ever seen? And of course, subscribe for more powerful Reddit revenge stories, where karma doesn't yell, it whispers back, just loud enough for them to hear.